We demolished Chernobyl's protective dome without authorization, because we knew full well, if we didn't act, the tragedy of that year would inevitably repeat itself. Once out of control, hundreds of millions would pay the price. Not long ago, engineers from the Nuclear Energy Council approached us. To conceal the radiation back then, they had poured thousands of tons of concrete over the reactor, creating a massive protective dome. But due to rushed construction and decades of erosion, this dome is slowly disintegrating. To prevent disaster from repeating, the council decided to build a massive movable sarcophagus capable of isolating Chernobyl for at least 150 years. But a problem arose. The land here, long exposed to radiation, has severely diminished load-bearing capacity. The sarcophagus weighs thousands of tons. A foundation capable of bearing this weight must be found. Time is of the essence. We set out immediately. Arriving at the Chernobyl perimeter, they flew above the dome. To confirm the sarcophagus's coverage area, I was tasked with operating the robot, drilling into the already damaged interior of the dome.
They have lights on in there?
It's a power plant. No one turned off the grid when the meltdown occurred. They just ran.
Soon, the camera revealed a mass of writhing molten material. It was slowly creeping toward the reactor. Should it touch the nuclear fuel, it would spawn another Chernobyl, but radiation began interfering with the robot. The image suddenly blurred. The robotic arm ignited. The next instant, it plunged into the molten mass, triggering a violent explosion. Thick smoke billowed instantly. Their aircraft was completely out of control. He had no choice but to make an emergency landing, but the plane crashed straight into the dome. We rushed in to rescue them. This accident accelerated the fission of the molten core. If unchecked, in 40 minutes, the entire town would be obliterated. Just then, a water pipe ruptured. A torrent of cooling water rushed toward the molten mass. The disaster countdown was compressed once more. I knew full well, brute force wouldn't save anyone. I glanced at the nearby amusement park and suddenly had an idea. I grabbed a chain, one end connected to the plane, the other secured to a carousel. I'd use this giant winch to pull the aircraft out. The plane began retreating, but before it went far, it jammed again. My partner jumped down to clear the obstruction. The plane finally emerged from the dome, yet she remained trapped inside.